Hey y'all, my name is Christian. I'm a millennial, and this is the Millennial Mind. Millennials get a bad rap for being lazy, non-productive members of society. We also get told that our opinions are warped and don't matter. This podcast is designed to express a point of view on the world as a whole, but from a millennial's perspective. I will talk about love, current events, pretty much everything that comes to mind. Come join me on this journey on speaking my mind, and I would love for you to speak your mind as well. This podcast is sponsored by Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. It gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, even on platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Once again, you can download the Anchor app, that's ANCHOR, or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey y'all. Welcome to another episode of The Millennial Mind. Thank you so much for joining me in this journey of speaking not only my mind, but hopefully you're speaking your mind as well. I hope I don't sound too weird because I'm just overcoming a cold. So I'm sorry that this episode did not come out yesterday, but your girl sounded like a dude. Like my voice was real husky. You would not have liked that sound whatsoever. So I pushed it off until today. So please forgive me for the delay, but I want to get right into the topic. So I don't know if you all remember from actually a previous episode where I talked about the Tamar Braxton and Lonnie Love situation. And I kind of touched on social media a little bit because that's where the majority of the situation had happened. So after kind of listening to that episode again, I thought it would be great if I hit on social media and this impact on millennials as a whole. And I'm sure that it has an impact on other generations as well. So I've entitled this episode Social Media Reconnecting or Reconfiguration. So let's get into it. So if you don't know what social media is, now, in my mind, I'm thinking everyone has a social media account, in some shape or form. But just in case you don't know what social media is websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. So this is the way that you reconnect with old friends, new friends, family. You share updates that are going on in your life, whether you got a new job, new house, new man, new woman. You share pictures of your vacation. I know I saw one of my friends, my Facebook friends actually went to Dubai. And I was just jealous. So you see all that. So it's just a great way to reconnect with people and see how they're doing in their life without, calling or texting or emailing them to see what's going on. So the original purpose for social media was for networking. Like I was saying, to reconnect with old friends, connect with new people, connect with family that you haven't seen in a while, things like that. So I did a little research on when social media actually began, and it looked like it really started to take off in the late 1990s with the platforms known as Friendster and 6 Degrees. Now, in the late 90s, I was about between the ages of 8 and 9. So I wasn't using social media. Like my parents probably didn't even know that existed, I'm sure. But anyone who is familiar with Friendster and 6 Degrees, make sure you comment. You can comment on our Facebook page, or in the comments for Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever, and let me know if you've ever used Friendster and 6 Degrees. I tried to look up 6 Degrees, and it kind of reminded me of Classmates.com. Does anyone remember that? Classmates.com. That's where you were able to invite your classmates to join your circle who you haven't seen in a long time, who graduated in your class. That's what it kind of looked like. Correct me if I'm wrong, for those who are more familiar. But when I looked up some pictures, that's what it seemed to look like. So it started with Friendster and 6 Degrees, and those two social media platforms went away or shut down. Then we started getting into the platforms that we know of today, such as LinkedIn, which started in 2002. And LinkedIn, that's more of a professional social networking platform where people find jobs, they look for jobs, employers search for potential employees, you share what's going on in your career area or your area of expertise. It's very professional. You don't really do too much of sharing pictures of your vacation, unless it was like, something to do with your business or something like that. In that instance, it will be a business trip. But it's mostly for career-driven people who are using LinkedIn. Then we have MySpace. MySpace started in 2003. Now, with MySpace, I remember a lot of my friends and classmates had MySpace. I wasn't allowed to get in MySpace. I tried though, but I got caught. I tried real hard, but I got caught. So I remember MySpace, like people would set up their profile, put up their picture. It had like a real dramatic background, like with different colors. When you would click on their profile, sometimes people would have like background music. It was like a real big thing. Too bad I didn't have one. And I think MySpace is still in existence. I want to say it is. Check me on that. But I want to say MySpace is still in existence today. So MySpace in 2003. Then came the big dog, Facebook, in 2004. Now, I got a Facebook. And I believe everybody has a Facebook. I shouldn't say everybody. The majority of people at least have a Facebook as their choice of a social media platform. Facebook that's the place where you're, telling everyone what's going on in your life, good or bad. You're sharing pictures of what's going on in your life. I think they also have like a dating platform within the social media platform itself, where you can find, a potential boyfriend or girlfriend. You can play games. You can create groups. It's like the father of social media platforms. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. Then we have Twitter in 2000, which came out in 2006. Now, I remember when Twitter came out because the whole thing was like, okay, you're going to have to summarize what you're trying to say in 140 or 160 characters. I was like, that seems like too much work. That seems like too much work. You know what? I'm going to take a sip of this water because I feel like I'm about to have a coughing attack. So excuse me. Like I said, I'm still trying to overcome this cold. So I'm trying not to like cough in you guys' ears. So thank you for your patience. But yes, Twitter trying to do everything in a limited amount of characters. And I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go. So I tried it. I didn't like it. I tried it for one day. One day, I did not like it. A lot of other people, they like it. I know my husband, he likes it. Other people still may use Twitter. But yeah, I tried it and I was like, no. But Twitter is still in existence also. Then we have Instagram. Instagram was mainly about pictures, showing what was going on in your life through mostly pictures. Then they started adding videos to it, and live videos, kind of like Facebook almost. So Instagram was a little bit different. That was the third social media platform that I tried. It was Facebook, then Twitter, then Instagram. And I've kind of held on to Instagram as well. And then there was Snapchat in 2011. Snapchat is basically, how the name sounds. You're snapping a portion of what's going on in your life, and then you're chatting about it. So you're giving people like a snapshot of what's going on, what situation you're going through, where you are, and then it'll stay up on your profile for maybe about 24 hours, and then you can delete it, or then it automatically deletes. I don't know if it's still the same way because I don't use Snapchat that much other than the filters for the pictures. Don't judge me. But anyone who uses Snapchat, please tell me what changes have been made because I don't know. So we have all these social media platforms and everyone has at least one. The majority of people in the world, I should say, at least have one social media platform. In 2019, there are approximately 2 billion social media users online. 2 billion. And I know there's got to be like, how many people in the world? About 7 billion on average. So almost half of the people in the world have a social media platform, or they're a user of social media. That's insane. And then get this from my fellow millennials. Out of those 2 billion social media users, 90.4% of those users are millennials. So millennials, we are taking over the social media game, okay? We should be social media experts. Because we are using social media constantly. When I'm on the train or when I'm out in public and I see people who are my age, they're using social media. You see them scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or Twitter. It's just a common thing. For me, when I wake up, I usually scroll through Facebook. It's sad. is super sad, but that's what I do. And I know a lot of other millennials do that as well. So it really does consume our lives. Social media is a part of our lives. It's a part of our daily routine. It's crazy. So before before I became the grown woman that I am now, I didn't grow up having social media, of course. The first social media platform that I joined was Facebook in 2008. And I was 18 or about to turn 18. I I created my Facebook profile in May of 2008, so I was a couple months shy of my 18th birthday. That's when I first got my Facebook profile together, and I was so happy because then I was able to reconnect with people I haven't seen in a long time. It was a great way for me to connect with family and friends and new people as well. So at first, these social media platforms, they started out as a connection base. Then it turned into something completely different. So people kind of forgot about the connecting part, and it seemed like they started to focus more on being the best version of themselves. Which there's nothing wrong with being the best version of yourself, but let me explain what I'm talking about. People started to post everything about themselves. So I would see people talk about, what was going on their menstrual cycle, that they were on the toilet taking a dump, that they got into an argument with their significant others. And even though this was juicy, some of it, even though some of this stuff was juicy, I don't need to know that you were on the toilet taking a dump. I'm just saying, that's a bit much. I don't need all that information. And then there's a lot of people that are mostly posting good stuff. What we call, like for Instagram, stunting on the gram. They're showing their vacations, their outfit of the day, food that they cooked that they didn't burn. They posting their best life, what's going on good in their lives. Everything is good. Everything is rosy. Fight me on it because I'm living my best life. YOLO. It's like, okay. Then people also started to filter their pictures and Photoshop them before they put them on Facebook or Instagram or what have you. So I know there's this girl that I follow on Instagram who stated that before she posted her picture, she would smooth out her skin, from all the cellulite. And she had brown spots on her body. And so she would take the Photoshop app and eliminate those brown spots before posting the picture. And so I would look at her pictures. I'm like, oh my gosh, she looks perfect. But then she admitted in an Instagram post, like, yeah, I was photoshopping my pictures. I was like, wait a minute, what? And that's the issue. Individuals are changing their pictures to something that's not really them. And from the outside looking in, you find yourself comparing yourself to what they look like or what other people are doing. And you think like, man, I'm not living my best life. So like for the pictures, you're comparing yourself to an image that's not real. Or for good things that are happening in people's lives, you're comparing your life to a small portion that individual is willing to share. So for the pictures, this individual may have freckles. It may have taken them 20 shots in order to get the picture that they posted online. But you see that one picture and you're like, man, this person is gorgeous, or man, this dude is hot. And you don't realize, what work they had to go through in order to get that picture, whether they Photoshop, whether they filtered, whether they took the picture, tried to take a picture 50 times in order to get the picture that they posted. It's a lot going on. And even like people sharing the good things that are happening in their lives, nobody's going to share the bad stuff that's happening. Nobody's going to share that they had a breakup. Maybe they will. Not too many people though. Nobody's going to share that they got yelled at by their boss. Maybe they will. But very few people. They're not going to show the negative. They're always going to show the positive. And so, of course, we're comparing our lives to a small portion of theirs. And that's not realistic. So, all this comparison negatively affects your self-confidence. So, you're comparing yourself and your confidence is just getting lower and lower and lower. You know what? I'm talking about myself because I've done that. Okay, about to have another coffee attack. So I'm going to drink this water. Hold on, guys. I'm so proud of myself. I have not coughed this entire episode. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm trying my best. So, this is affecting your self-confidence. I've done, that's happened to me where I've compared myself to other women. They could like, oh, you know, they look a lot prettier than I do. It seems like they're living a better life than I am. You know, it was draining. It was super draining. I was doing some major Facebook stalking. Let me tell you that. Major. It is pathetic. Major, just comparing myself to these women. And it's like, why am I doing that? There's no purpose. So, I know I'm not the only person who's done that. So, if you've ever compared yourself to other women or men and like this on Facebook stalking rather, definitely let me know in the comments so I won't feel alone. Okay. So after all that, what can we do to stop this negative self-comparison? I have a few things we can do. One, we can figure out the root of the self-comparisons. So the root for the majority of it that I could think of is low self-esteem. So when we have low self-esteem, we'll think anybody is, you know, the bomb.com, that everybody's living their best lives and we're not. That's not true. Now, granted, there's always going to be someone that's prettier, that's smarter, that's more driven, etc. But there's no one that could be you. And that's the value that a lot of people do not consider for themselves. Another thing we could do is take a break from social media. Now, I've done that and it's worked. Taking like a social media fast where you don't look at social media for like a day or a week or 30 days. I did one day. And you know what? I did not miss it. I was like, okay. I guess I was looking at social media so much that I wasn't focused on the world around me. And I'm like, oh, there's a tree outside. There's a blue sky. I did not know. It sounds stupid and dramatic, but that's how much I was embedded in social media. I wasn't focused on the world around me. Focused on this life that I'm living. Because I'm so much focused on this fake life or this this life that people are altering so that it makes it seem like I'm not living my best life. Also, you can block the person you're comparing yourself to. Now, I've done that. Now, the power of the block button is like wonderful. Okay? If you have not been blessed with the power of the block button, you better go ahead and get it. Bless yourself with it. because it's going to be a major blessing in your life. You're going to be like, where was this at for my life? I don't understand. Make sure you tap into that block button because it will bless your life. So the block button, if you don't want to see certain things or see certain people because people are getting on your nerves, or you feel like that, they're not bringing out the best in you when looking at them on social media, block them. Block them. There's a few people on my block list. No shame. No shame whatsoever. Bless yourself with the block button. I'm telling you, it will change your life. Also, meditate. Meditation is something that I'm slowly trying to get into. It really focuses your mind on your body and how it's navigating life as a whole. It allows you the ability to wander. It allows your mind to have the ability to wander for a little bit, but then you're refocusing it on your body and how you're navigating life. So if you've never done meditation, you can download Headspace. That helps. I have that app. It's not an ad for Headspace. But if you want to learn how to meditate and learn how to do it well, Headspace is a good start. So meditation is good. So the only person that you should be comparing yourself to is yourself. Are you a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday? Did you make progress that you didn't make yesterday? Did you achieve a goal that you may not have achieved on yesterday? So the only person that we should be comparing ourselves to is our past self. Like, are we making ourselves better? Are we making our lives better? Are we influencing our family and friends and those around us to be better? That's what we should be comparing ourselves to, not to other people. No one can be you, and you can't be them. So why are we focusing on trying to be them? Focus on trying to be the best version of you. Now, with social media, too, not only is there the comparison factor, but there's also the issue in which people say what they want to say, which is usually negative. I call them social media cowards. They hide behind their phone or their computer and say negative stuff for the heck of it. The majority of them wouldn't say this negative stuff in person. A lot of them wouldn't. They just feel like since nobody can really pop them in the kneecaps, then they can say whatever they want to say. So why do they do it? Why do these social media trolls do what they do? I believe that they're unhappy with their lives and don't have nothing better to do. Because I'm like, I don't have the time. Me personally, I do not have the time to worry about what other people are doing and then go to the point where I'm commenting on what they're doing. I don't have the time. I guess a lot of people have the time. They don't have no job. They don't have nothing better to do. I don't know what it is. I just don't have the time. So I'm trying to figure out how these people have the time. And you know what? Their comments, it don't be like one sentence. It be like full paragraphs, full sermons. I don't get it. Like, how do you have the time? I don't. Fight me on it. Like, really? It don't make sense. So, yeah, I feel like they're unhappy with their lives and they don't have nothing better to do. How do we deal with these trolls? One, ignore them. When people are unhappy and, have nothing better to do, I ignore them. That's just me. Some people, they diffuse it with humor. They do these humorous clapbacks, which be funny. Like, it'd be like on the Shade Room. You'd be seeing like these celebrities clapping back at these social media trolls. It'd be hilarious. Just go to the shade room and just look at these snapshots of these celebrities clapping back at, their followers. It'd be hilarious. Okay. Also, another option would be to block them. I'm telling you, the power of the block button, it will bless your heart. It will bless your life. It's your miracle waiting to happen. Get you the block button. Embed yourself with the block button. Embrace the block button. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's there for a reason. Use it. Use it for your life. It'll make your life a lot better. I promise you. So, I believe social media was based on good intentions, but if used improperly and excessively, it can turn into a reconfiguration playground of your confidence, thoughts, and ideas. Don't let social media and the social media users do that to you. Don't let them reconfigure your life, how you live your life, how you think, what you do. You be the most authentic version of you that you can be. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I do want to leave you guys with a quote before I go. And it is as follows. As far as self-confidence goes, so much of social media is about approval, getting likes, comparing our lives to others. Meanwhile, confidence is an inside job. It's about how you feel about yourself, regardless of what anyone else does or thinks. It's a knowing that you're human, you're flawed, and you're awesome in your own way. So I hope that you learned something today. I know I did. Make sure that you subscribe to this podcast on Pocket Cast, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify. Make sure you like our Facebook page, The Millennial Mind. And if you have any comments, thoughts, ideas, or topic ideas, make sure you email me at mindofmillennials@gmail.com. Well, until next time, I look forward to seeing you soon.